Ladies and gentlemen, this is the fourth and I believe final door to unlock our last word of power. That said,
ominous indeed.
I do believe this will be our toughest challenge yet. We are at the recommended level. Now, our previous challenge was very tough. We were successful, but we were also 3 levels ahead, I think. So, just set your expectations. Mine are set. They're set low. But I'm gonna do my best. We also, without knowing if it's gonna be similar in nature to the last one, we don't know. We don't know. So let's see.
If you remember from the last trial, I told you that Hippus was consumed by his brother Set, who absorbed his power. It was this betrayal that showed the Elder Gods, including Chthon, the path towards their own corruption.
Okay. Okay, that's something. Now this, actually, could be clutch for us. If we can, because this is crit, if we can spend like 10 heroism on this, this is 480, which would make these guys killable. And just at a glance, if any soulbound unit has health at the end of turn, automatically revive and equally distribute health between all soulbound units. So you can kind of weaken them and they'll start distributing health between each other. But that is a big problemo. Okay, we do at least have an out here. We have an out for how we can start this. I basically need to use Last Sight on one of the minions. And we should be safe this round. That's 1 round down. The problem is, will they send in enough of the hounds, or am I going to be forced to kill these? And probably, but maybe we can build up towards a big annihilation or something. So, yeah, we'll see. I do have the quick slash here. So, I think it would make the most sense to target like this. Right? We mark those 2 in the back. We, yeah. Let's do this.
I saw a move like that once, centuries ago.
Okay. So now if I bite, I don't think I have the angle here. So this is just a single thing, I guess. Or I could do something like this. We take out this one. We do a little bit of damage, right? Automatically revive and equally distribute health between all soulbound. Now, does that mean that if one is not revived, do they still distribute their health? I guess we'll find out off of this. And it says it always targets the last unit to gain bleed. So they must do bleed. This is going to draw a card.
Now that was something. I am impressed.
Okay. Now that is helpful, especially for annihilation here. This is at 48 for each heroism. Wait, 48 times 4, what we're currently at, is one. Okay, so there's some kind of rounding in there. So we're at 193, but it should be at 192. Ooh, don't love that. Don't love that. I have to go Last Sight on this. Okay. I could use just a maul, or I could redraw this. All Out is a card I cannot play right now in almost any situation. So let me redraw this, because I need to keep Last Sight, and I do want to build up towards Annihilation. Hello, that is very interesting, however. That is very interesting. Huh. Okay. If I did a Mindbreaker on this group over here, that would be kind of cool. Because then I'm going to conceal. I have to get rid of this dog first. I could... So here's the thing. I could move, right? And then quick slash to get both of those. The problem is, if I'm going to cast a Mindbreaker, which I think works really well here, it is going to spend all my heroism, though, so I don't... Like, I just don't love that. I don't love that. And maybe I save this because I'm going to have Last Sight anyways. Maybe I can work around this and see if I can build up to a big Annihilation that could potentially clear these two Soulbound units in a future turn. So maybe I just hold off on the Mindbreaker idea for right now, but I keep it in my hand. I keep it in my hand. I'm gonna redraw Maul here. Okay. That's not great either. Okay. So what I'm thinking is I could move over here, do my quick slash now to take out both of those. I'm up to 5 heroism. And then I do Last Sight on this one, and I'm up to 6 heroism. That's pretty nice. Charlie's not getting attacked. We're concealed. I don't see anything crazy wrong with this. So, when in doubt, give it a try.
You were too weak for this fight.
Now, the other thing to consider here is that I'm going to have an extra card play, potentially. Oh man, it gave us the anti-material charm. That's useless. Okay. Another potential option. That guy's at 416. If this was any other card, I'd be like, yeah, cool. But it's not. Because like now I can't play both. If I want to build up to the big Annihilation here, right? So I think I just have to accept that I'm not going to get that card play right now. Do the Last Sight here. And hope for the best.
Your mother abandoned you.
Okay. That's, yeah, it's 2 card plays though, man. But what am I gonna do? I can't do any of these now without revealing, so it's just, it's fine. The environmental stuff, the problem with that is that the hunter has to do it. It automatically switches to the hunter, so it's fine. It's fine. They are sending reinforcements, so that's encouraging. If I can solely focus on taking out the hounds, then we're good. Oh, they can link other souls. Equalized. Oh, that's cool. Man, I would love for that to be resist.
I don't think we'll be seeing any serpent men, but in his heyday, Set created his own personal army, much like Lilith and her children.
So these guys can even go above their base health to distribute things equally. Now, in a way, like if they link to this guy next and they distribute that equally among everyone, at some point they're going to get really weak, right? Now this guy is the only one attacking Charlie. We did get another Howl here, which is kind of nice. Because it builds heroism. But it does mean that I have a problem KOing something now. But I'm just going to put this here, I think. And we do have some redraws to play with. I could potentially save the Dark Heal here. One more card gets me to 10 in the Annihilation Bank. Which is kind of sick. I could hit these 3. But like, I don't know how hard those guys are hitting, man. We might, like, if I can draw the Conceal again, that would be something. That would be something, all right. Let's work through this problem. So I'm at 10. Now, if I go Annihilation, we're down to 1 card play. I could do something like this. And that would refund the card play. And then I could try to see if I could work my way back up to 4 somehow magically. And then I could play a Mind Breaker, but could I do that necessarily? This card play would get refunded. The Bite would get refunded here. And draw a card. So I would still be at 2 card plays after that. And then I could look to redraw Dark Heal or something. Or maybe I do something like this. Where I may be able to actually get rid of this guy. That would be kind of interesting. Let's go.
All who serve Lilith. Feel my call.
Man, it would have been nice if we had resist there, but we don't have it. 54. No vulnerables. This has to go here. I was looking to see if maybe a move would be worth it, but I don't think
possibly match
we have the range. Okay. So now everyone's targeting the Hunter, and I feel as if that's a problem. For sure. I'm going to redraw the Dark Heal now, because that's not going to help the Hunter at all. 67. What's 96 plus 67? It's 163. With a shove, that's enough to get rid of this guy. Or this guy. Which one's worse? We don't really know. We don't really know yet. I don't know what this guy does, but this guy could do wounds. They're both coming in. They're all coming in for powerful attacks. So I kind of need to figure out something to do here. I'm going to redraw Deadly Ground. Okay. Charlie can do shoves. I'm also 1 away on the obsidian collar. I think we might be dead here. They are marked, so it would refund a card play. Yikes, dudes. There's a chance if I can take him down. So I think I have to shove. Then I go merciless. And then I go bite. So that I draw another card and get the card play refunded. And maybe that card is like a lifesaver. But even if it is, I don't know what could be the lifesaver there. Because I'm 1 heroism short of being able to play a Mindbreaker, which would be insane here. We have a shove. Or a slide, I should say. I could go merciless. Do the slide. But I can kill him anyways. And I don't see a way where this slide is going to hit 2 enemies. So I think I'm going to do this. I don't know. Hopefully the hunter can survive 3 hits, but I don't feel super confident.
This is a
if we would have generated resist instead of heroism those 2 times, maybe. But then maybe I wouldn't have ended up playing that big annihilation or whatever. Might as well play this. And then 41. This one has knockback. This one doesn't. So this could take out 2 minions that come in if we survive. But this one has crit. So it's like... Yeah. Oh! Okay, so he still counts. Okay, interesting. So he's... Yeah, he still counts as going down there. But he comes back. Huh. That's... Okay, wait. Okay. Automatically revive and equally distribute health. Okay, so it at least cancels his attack. That's, you know, something. But all of their health is going to get redistributed here. Well, I guess this is, like, my only play. Oh, wait a sec. What if... Okay. Sorry, Charlie. Sorry, Charlie. But... I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but you need to attack this unit. We need to do this. Taking health damage should taunt. Hopefully that works here based on the knockback. Yeah, okay. So Charlie well, maybe. But I feel like we at least survive these attacks. And we live to fight another day. Right? Like, that's pretty important stuff. Okay, yeah, so there's the bleed.
They must know my reputation.
Wow.
Our resolve cannot be broken.
One hit Charlie at 100 and whatever. Okay. So the problem with this is pretty obvious. Give me a resist. These guys are now going to target whoever bled last, which is me. There's a resist. Okay, well, that's something.
If you believe
162 damage.
When the now corrupt Set descended upon the Earth,
I got a last
he
sight
used
at
the
least.
prevailing reptiles of the time, dinosaurs, to create his physical form.
Dude. So this is now useless. What? What? What happened there? I redrew that, right? And nothing happened? I guess. Okay. This takes 2 of them. Then I play a Mind Breaker. Then I shove. Do I even survive this? 162. Oh, wait a sec. Wait a sec. Wait a sec. I need 2 vampiric essence here. Just to survive this round. Well, to survive into the next round, which... turns remaining 2. So on the next round... I'm gonna need to kill I'm gonna need to kill 4 things and get last sight drawn again, which is possible because we're only on hunter cards right now. And the vampiric will last both rounds, so it's not impossible.
This shall be of great help.
It's not impossible. I feel like trying to kill these is like the trap, obviously. But maybe we don't even get reinforcements on the last round and I have to. Maybe that's like the trick. Maybe not. I don't know. If I do this, I Mind Breaker something. I shove one of the dogs and then I... Oh, actually, hold on a sec. Does this say... always targets the last unit to gain bleed? So... I could have these guys have the Mind Breaker and attack these dudes to get bleed, and maybe they'll attack them. That would be cool, wouldn't it?
Once again, Lilith's servants fall.
Okay. So now we go, Mind Breaker, right? And these should all bleed, actually, which is kind of interesting. Because unless they have other attacks that don't do bleed. It's possible. So I apply this. Then I do Deadly Ground just to kind of cause some mayhem. Right? Then I do Last Sight. That's going to be all of our card plays. And then next turn, I'm going to have redraws and I'm going to have All Out, which should pretty much guarantee I can draw a Last Sight. It just depends on if they're going to summon in enough wolves for me to deal with. Right? I hope this works.
It's time. I see not much has changed among the world's fanatics.
I do have a redraw here too, but what could I get right now that's going to benefit me? Because admittedly, like, Deadly Ground isn't the best thing, but I could use it to secure a stun or something next turn to prevent an attack if somehow other stuff doesn't work out. It generates me heroism, so I could potentially use some of the environmental stuff. And actually, if I have Merciless, then maybe that does help me with Deadly Ground too. Let's do it. It would be really cruel if they didn't... That's actually kind of tempting to just blow up there. Because it actually hits all of them. The chances of them coming over here are pretty slim. I'm gonna leave it. And we're also gonna lifesteal off this. How many Dark Hunter cards is that? Okay, cool. So my when I play all out too, then yeah, okay. I'm optimistic. If they send in 4 hounds here, I think we might be okay. Mathematically, it feels like we're in a decent spot. Oh, wait a sec. Oh, I just realized. I'm gonna reveal on the bleed, man. I'm gonna reveal on the bleed, aren't I? No, maybe not. Okay. Okay. I like this. Okay. I thought I was gonna reveal on the bleed. There's the dogs. So you're telling me there's a chance. Now that's actually insanely powerful because they get the bleed applied on their turn, and then at the end they take that damage. That's actually nuts. Soulbound. All soulbound enemies must be KO'd on the same turn to be truly defeated. If a soulbound enemy is still active at the end of the enemy turn, all other soulbound enemies will be revived. They evenly distribute their health when revived, so taking down one can make the rest weaker. Yeah, it's weird though, like that last guy, when he was soulbound, he didn't actually go down. Oh, that resist could be massive. There's last sight for us.
Beasts, when autumn came to destroy Set, the ensuing battle lasted for thousands of years.
I think we got this.
And drove them to extinction alongside their fallen admirer.
The untold price of being favored by the Elder Gods.
Yeah, so I think basically what this is showing is this guy's potentially out because he took the bleed, right? This guy's also potentially out. But if I take him out, then yes. Then at that point, they would all go down. So I think that's what the tutorial is showing. We could throw a vulnerable here. We could knock into a vulnerable, but let's focus. I got other things I need to figure out here. Man. Look at them. So, as much as I would love to get rid of those guys, I don't think I need to here. I think the simplest way to do this is I shove here or here. I don't think I have a quick slash angle, but I quick slash, get that card play back. I shove, I'm still at 3 card plays. I merciless, I'm at 2 card plays. I last sight, I'm hidden. And I survive the damage, right? It's so close. We also have the environment there we can use. Uh, 152 plus 76. I'm just looking if there's a way I can KO this unit. And technically, I think I can. If I went merciless last sight all out. But I don't need to be, just resist the urge to be fancy. If I did the knockback into that, then I could do like a whatever. It wouldn't matter probably. But realistically, all I need to do is KO the dog here and conceal. I love this. That we can have them target each other. Oh, man, that's really cool. See you guys. I'm not doing anything. That is kind of cool. And we did it, first attempt, so that feels nice, obviously.
I wouldn't go so far as to say Set is pleased.
I do think one of the Dark Hunter strategies is letting Charlie go down so you don't draw his cards and you have a high chance of just getting that conceal every time, right? Especially with the other Hunter card All Out, where we are encouraging card draw and stuff. I think that's pretty nice. We did lose Charlie, but... Yep, we take that. We take that. Look at this place.
This looks like it belongs here.
Set's favor. Physical barriers that stand in your way will be torn down. Walls, barricades, and other natural obstructions shatter. Okay, it is actually called break. So that means that all of those other obstacles we've been running into should be dealt with. Okay, she's at Lilith's garden. This is cool. Okay. Guess what? Guess what? We did it.
Break the wall, Hunter. I will be right here. After.
You got it. Nice.
The father of serpents is smiling.
Lilith's journal. My sister tells me that it can be helpful to ink one's thoughts onto page. That's how she sorts through the chaos in her own mind, and that it may help me as well. But what do I say here? Is this the appropriate space to direct my yearnings for a normal life. Every time I pass through East Transia to visit the markets, I envy the men and women living in complete ignorance of the supernatural swirling around them. Their greatest threat is whether or not they can supply and sell enough goods. I spend my days and nights plagued with nightmares of the darkest evils. Yeah. Whoa. That is not at all what I was expecting down here. Black Trumpet? Can we purify any of this stuff?
If his help was warranted, Hippus would provide.
Okay. Look at this. You know what we also need? I wonder if it'll be down here, but we do need another set of symbols for the standing stones. Lilith's journal. I spent too much time wondering about mortal life. At least that is what Sarah tells me. What is it like to fall in love, grow a family, and enjoy carefree afternoons in the country watching the children bound through the fields? Simpler, that I know for certain. Sarah and I spend our days and nights doing our sacred duties as blood descendants, and she tells me I should be proud of our work to keep the people of this world safe to enjoy their simpler lives. But what if I want to live a simple life? What if... Could I? No, you probably couldn't. Let's be honest. Examine altar. Right. That seems safe. Sarah and I have done something truly amazing. We've moved the Abbey from Transia to a town called Salem in North America. To move something of that size and history across seas, I honestly wasn't sure it was even possible. And yet, here we are, no longer hiding in the shadow of the Wundagore Mountain. I'm optimistic. I know we still have work to do here, but I can't help my curiosity. It is so completely different here. Many new people to meet and learn from. My sister tells me that my spirit is too free, but I simply don't think that is possible. Shaw has increased his efforts as of late, and his cruelty makes my heart ache to hang or burn another human being. Perhaps this is what Sarah wanted to shield me from all those years ago. Where I saw mortal joy, she could only see the darkness, and I'm grateful for the men and women of this town that reject Shaw's cruelty, and I do think that I have found some friends. What a remarkable day. We've received correspondence from America, specifically a small town called Salem. While it's a tragedy that what these witches are enduring, a madman that calls himself Hiram Shaw appears to be causing quite a stir among the magically gifted. Sarah has a great plan to help them. We sent the Knights of Wundagore off to provide them a moon seal. If only I could have gone myself, if only just to experience something new. Still have 5 more pages of hers, likely behind some of those walls and stuff that we need to break. Oh, boom. Okay, I figured that. Okay, we are on point. Let's, I'm gonna take a little screenshot of Rooney here. Okay, and then we can do that after. That's awesome. Do I investigate this one? No, I can't. Okay. I could just feel like that was gonna be there. That was cool.
Sarah?
Of all the things you weren't expecting, finding me here had to be near the top of the list.
Yeah, what the hell?
Have you been following me?
On the contrary, kiddo, I think it's you that's been following in my footsteps. Speaking of which, have you been enjoying the trials?
Wait, what?
I'm not sure how you found your way down that path, but you've obviously impressed the gods, just like your mother and I did.
You are being much calmer than I expected about all this.
You aren't the first member of your family to sneak away and attempt the trials. I remember raising more than a few eyebrows on my run.
This from the favored daughter of Oshter?
I always respected Oshter, especially compared to some of her siblings.
And my mother?
I think she saw something of herself in Autumn, but she was never one to flatter the gods.
She seems to have no issue kneeling to Chthon.
Is that really what you believe, Hunter?
I mean, I don't think she's in control.
I cannot say.
At least you've kept an open mind. I'm not sure I would have.
I have tried to remain neutral until I know more.
If you've come this far, then there's really no point in hiding it anymore.
This place, sealed and hidden away beneath my mother's garden. This was you again. Something else you wanted to lock away.
Would you believe it's because I've been a stubborn old woman for far too many centuries?
Yes.
This may be difficult to understand given what you've been told, how you were raised. But your mother isn't the bastion of evil the world knows her to be.
Well, at one
Yes,
point.
I know she was not the mother of demons when she was with my father.
There's more to it than that. I told you of her work to find a cure for his illness. There was nothing she could do, and when he passed, she accepted his fate. But then, the corruption came for you.
I was sick? I do not remember that at all.
I'm not surprised, given the cure. You were so young, so vulnerable. Lilith was inconsolable. If she had been desperate to heal your father, she was now completely unhinged when it came to curing you.
But she did find a way.
We had thought to bury it in this place forever, safe from not just the greedy eyes of petty men like Shaw, but from ourselves.
The Darkhold.
Yes, and sensing your mother's desperation, the damn thing called out to her. There within its pages, Lilith found a way to protect her child. Straight from the Great Shadow himself, Chthon. And as payment, she pledged her eternal devotion to him.
I mean...
Reborn as the mother of demons.
She only wanted more power for herself.
Lilith had no need for more power, and certainly not at the cost of her only child.
But she's reveled in her time as Chthon's harbinger.
Has she? Do we really know what she believes now?
But what she became...
What she became? I barely recognized. She may have been your mother, but there was no way she could be your mother ever again.
And so you cast her out.
She was weakened from the transition. Some part of her soul still struggling with the corruption infecting her, I suppose. I knew I would only have the moment, and so I struck, drove her from the Abbey. From you. It was the only way I could protect you. In my mind and in my heart, I believed that the Lilith I knew would have done the same.
But then she came back.
Yes, it took her years, but she finally returned. Of course, by then, she had become something far different. The rest, as you know, is history. Until now. I thought by sealing this place, by avoiding the truth, that it would somehow make all of this easier.
Oh yeah, that always
But
works.
I also knew someday we would have this conversation.
She was wrong to do this.
All this time. All these years.
But
How could
I
you?
understand, like, where she's coming from.
I don't expect you to forgive me anytime soon, Hunter. But at least you know the truth.
I hope your conscience is clear now.
I will carry this with me for the rest of my years.
Oh, that's...
You can take comfort in that, Hunter.
That makes me feel bad. Holy moly, okay. Hey, yo, look at that.
I sincerely hope I won't need to repeat myself after tonight.
So that's interesting. This is a Light Hunter heroic ability. So this we would have to replace our big, like, heroism user. I can't remember the name of it at this exact moment. But you summon Charlie for 2 turns, and then you draw 2 Charlie cards, and then you exhaust it. Here's the challenge with the summon Charlie card. It's cool on paper, but it's one of those things where it's like you have to use 1 card play for that, and then you don't know which cards you're going to get from him. Charlie's cards, or from her, I should say. Charlie's cards are, you know, quick cards. On KO, you draw a card. You have the best one is the mark, the AoE mark. That's very strong. But it is cool. This is the way, I suppose, that you can get the heroic, legendary card from the other path, maybe? Like, this must be that way because, well, we just got it. So if you had the Light Hunter card here, then you would get the Dark Hunter ultimate card. The upgrade to that, I believe, makes it last for a little bit longer. Yeah, so 3 turns. And, like, that's the thing. You get her out there, and then you do get to play around for a few turns. It could be kind of cool. That would mean we would have to change Annihilation. And we're not a Light Hunter, but it is still cool that this exists here, right? But ultimately, I still need to buff this card. So I don't know if there's a way I can kind of work this in a sense that makes sense. By the way, during that conversation with Caretaker, the game actually hard crashed. And it didn't do any autosaves. I had to redo the last challenge. So I buzzed through it kind of knowing what to expect now. But yeah, I had to come back and do all that stuff. So we got a couple new legendaries here. Let's see. Whew! Wow. Now we're talking. A legendary blueprint also. That's got to be... Okay, so that has to be scripted, right? Because up to this point... Oh, excuse me? Oh. Those are scripted. Yes, those are scripted, you guys. Those are scripted. Oh. I like Ancestral. That is cool, and the darkness works for me. But we're going to go back to the dark blades, I think. Do I want to maybe do like 1 Faithbreaker blade and 1 dark blade? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Very much so. So this uses the Ancestral Helm, obviously. We could do this instead. But I actually kind of like that. And then if we can get some pallets for that, we might be able to change that. Okay, so yeah, so those must be scripted. I wonder if these ever respawn too. They probably do, but then they are going to spawn with other things. That gave us a passive too, right? So let's check that. Was it a passive or a caller? Yeah. Ancestor's Guidance. Hunter abilities do not exhaust. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Here's the thing. If we look at our deck right now, we have Annihilation that exhausts. But now you look at something like Mindbender and you're like, okay, I see. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm picking up what you're putting down. This Holy Gift, also pretty cool. Not a Dark Hunter card, so we probably won't use that. But, yeah. That gives some food for thought. That means potentially getting off multiple Annihilations in a fight, multiple Mindbenders. I really think we could do some crazy stuff with this deck now, if we want to change it up a little bit. I have space for 1 more Heroic. Yeah, man, that is very interesting. Okay. The resist and the heroism still great, okay? But at least what's nice about this, it's a known. It's not something that's chance-based. So that's huge. That's huge. Depending on how we do some of the next upgrades, we'll maybe throw that in there and experiment with it a bit.
I hadn't intended on eavesdropping, dear. But I couldn't help but overhear your conversation with Sarah.
Did you know about my mother?
Sarah was never any more forthcoming about Lilith with me than she has been with you. She must have felt it was safer to keep both of us in the dark.
Yeah.
It is hard to know what to think now.
After so many years and so many conflicting stories, you have every right to be unsure.
And to say nothing of what this did to you?
It may sound ridiculous, but if someone had to end up this way, I'm glad it was me. Can you imagine what a nightmare Sarah would be as a poltergeist?
That is true. We may have had another terror stalking the grounds had things gone differently.
And despite everything, I have to say, I'm glad we were able to spend this bit of extra time together, Hunter.
I enjoyed it too, Agatha.
I'm glad, dear. But there are still more secrets to discover, if you're interested.
Oh, I'm interested.
More still? How will I know where to find them?
Break all the walls.
Oh, I'd say some combination of dumb luck and persistence.
All right.
But in all seriousness, with Set's blessing, you'll be able to break down all sorts of things, I imagine. I'm sure you'll figure it out. Just have fun, dear.
Okay. Step 1. There's a path over here that we can break open. Okay.
Set revels in his blessing.
So this is Mist Moors. Now, is this an area we've been? No, this is all new.